this is a case that may be decided by a judge there in the UK all along. So there's really no right to a jury. So I understand why the prince is doing this.
I guess it's good to be Prince Harry in some ways, but maybe not. I mean, he has had legal issues mounting, and he also has some other things that he is dealing with as well. So his lawyers are arguing for an immediate decision or a summary judgment in his case against the Associated Newspapers, which is the publishers of the Daily Mail, Mail on Sunday. I feel like we've talked about this before because they have a new case against them, it seems like every week. So it's one of the 4 legal battles that he has against the tabloid. So this one, he is suing the Associated Press for misrepresenting him in an article that was published last February. He says that his PR team tried to put a spin on his legal fight with the British government. Harry is suing the Home Office, arguing that they should reinstate his police protection that he and his family lost when they stepped down as working royals. So his lawsuit said that the Mail on Sunday article implied that Harry was putting a PR spin on his offer to pay for his protection and that this only came at a later date, while he suggested it happened all along. So what exactly is a summary judgment?
Yeah, so summary judgment is when a judge rules that there's no triable issue of fact. So that means, in sort of layman's terms, that no reasonable jury can find the other way. So normally what happens in cases where someone sues someone else, a plaintiff sues a defendant, the defendant will file a motion for summary judgment, and the defendant will argue, hey, judge, no reasonable jury can find in favor of the plaintiff. But what's interesting here is Harry is not the defendant. He's the plaintiff. He's the one suing. So normally plaintiffs don't file for summary judgment because usually a juror can find either way. But the interesting legal wrinkle is here in the United States, and we talked about it with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and other defamation cases, is in the United States, the burden is on a plaintiff in a defamation case to prove that the statement was false. But the defamation laws are more favorable to plaintiffs in Europe. In Europe, the burden is on the defendant to prove that the statement was substantially true. So, this is a unique case where the prince may be trying to be aggressive and put pressure on the tabloids to make sure that they don't go after him or report on him. But he may actually be able to get summary judgment because, again, the burden on those types of defamation cases in the UK is on the defendant.
Got it. So this is not like a complete waste of time for Harry then. It seems like he may almost have a leg up in this case.
He may. And the other important fact is, and we saw this with Johnny Depp's first defamation case there in the UK. We have jury trials here for a lot of cases, including civil defamation cases. But oftentimes in Europe, judges decide these cases. They don't even make it to a jury. And in Johnny Depp's first defamation case, that was an issue for a UK judge. So whether it's at the summary judgment phase or whether it's at the full trial phase, this is a case that may be decided by a judge there in the UK all along. So there's really no right to a jury. So I understand why the prince is doing this.
Definitely. Does it seem like the tabloids could really sway the Home Office, though, to lessen their protection for Harry? Because, I mean, that's kind of what he's arguing here. And it doesn't really seem like you'd put somebody's protection at risk for a tabloid.
I don't think so. I mean, there's rules that apply. And just like in the United States, obviously we don't have a royal family, but, Donald Trump is a former president and there's the possibility that you may be charged with a crime. But that doesn't mean that he's going to lose Secret Service protection. He's always going to have it, regardless of whether he's the president or a former president or if he's charged for a crime. That type of protection and those laws apply regardless. And I don't expect that there would be any shift or change because of how tabloids are reporting on the issue.
For more news content and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.